And we're back. We got our water, our tea, everything we need to bring you guys the Losers Finals, which is going to be Team Raizen versus Luau. Both of these teams coming off of dramatic Clan Blitz finishes. Luau taking an L in overtime. Team Raizen getting a W in overtime. So both teams coming into this finals with momentum in opposite directions. But we have seen a lot of aggression coming out of these both of these teams, so it's going to be an exciting matchup that is going to be best of 5.
The main suspect of both teams, Clan Blitz, murdered both of the teams into into the match it is to be Luau against Team Raizen. As you said, Team Raizen taken a good W, Luau taken a pretty darn close L in the overtime. Team Raizen actually took the W before the overtime. Milliseconds before, but yeah, I'm actually pretty excited. This time best of 5, so we're going to see a lot of more games. One more game has to be won for both teams. And we start with Splatoon on Sturgeon Shipyard.
The real question here is, what are we going to see out of Luau? They have the ability to go anchorless at any moment. On the side of Team Raizen, of the 2 matches we have seen of them so far, it looks like they've been sticking to Remix the whole time. So I wouldn't be surprised if we saw a Remix coming back out here. In fact, they've already readied up, so I'm assuming this is going to be kind of a similar comp that we've been used to seeing from them up to this point. But the real question here is, what is Luau going to do? Did they watch the last set? Do they know what to expect? I guess we'll find out now, as both teams are readied up, and we're going to get started.
Yeah, maybe Luau is going to stick with their aggressive comp that worked out against. Who was it? Last chance. Maybe they're gonna stick with it. It would maybe work out. And as we can see, they do anchorless on side of the team. Whoa.
Yes, the only real difference from the tower control map comp that we've seen from them is that they are using a vanilla 96 gal as opposed to a double NZAP, so they have a little bit more range of what they're used to. But Team Raizen doesn't seem to care at this beginning, because they're getting a quick double, make that a triple as Kami on the Tetris goes down. As we see this H3 able to hold down control of mid here and getting a lot of paint out. But we do see the roller going down on the side of Team Raizen, as Luau now getting all their players back into position to try to cap zone. That is, and they do actually cap zone here, as we see the Remix trying to make a play.
The duelies actually took that juicy direct from the Inkjet coming out of Luau, and it looks like they're going to take the lead, as the Tetra is a bit aggressive though, but the zone is uncontested for the lead. But now Aldrian is looking for the Booyah Bomb. Now has it. The question is, will Aldrian use it anytime soon? Yes. It will be used, and it caps zone? Question mark? Yes, it does.
Yes, but a lot of picks needed to happen for that zone to get capped. The Booyah Bomb there was nice to help paint the zone, but it was the other players off screen getting the key picks they needed that was able to get the zone in control of Team Raizen, as we see the roller here trying to make a play happen, trying to be a distraction much like the Tetra players for Luau is, but it's not going to be enough to make much of an effort here, as we see Surskit getting into zone with the NZAP, and has enough painting power there to get control of the zone and a pick as well, as 2 players go down for Team Raizen. Luau with the lead here, and is looking to eat away at their penalty points to get even more of a lead.
Also, the armor guy on Team Raizen also went down, so armor will be a bit complicated to get now, as Luau is looking quite for a lockdown situation. Kaito has a hard time to get into the zone. Cooldown points are down. Now 30 points away for Luau to take the first KO and the first W for this match. Kaito now using the chance, but gets denied by the Inkjet! Oh my god, what a juicy direct was that!
Yes, and with only 4-3, well, make that a complete KO. So Luau able to finally find their footing there about halfway through the game and establish a lockout, getting a win on the Splat Zones game, and giving them a 1-0 lead as tower control is now right around the corner. A map or a mode that we've seen Luau use very effectively against Last Chance in the winners finals. So tower control at Snapper Canal. I think we're likely to see the same kind of aggressive comp out of Luau for this one here.
Yeah, especially the Inkjet one. That was some juicy Inkjet directs coming out of the side from Luau. This was really darn good, especially as an Inkjet 9. I can approve this play. I can approve those plays. It is really satisfying to see those Inkjet directs, especially if you have to do such important things. Kaito was actually going to cap the zone with the bubbles, and it is actually pretty darn dangerous with the F-Pro. And it got denied by the Inkjet direct, which was pretty much important because it secured the KO a little bit more, and it did suffice. So Inkjet really the best MWP right there.
Yeah, and Team Raizen readying up quickly. We've only seen 3 games from them so far, but their comps have been pretty consistent up to this point. It's going to be interesting if they decide to make an adjustment or not. Now, they did just beat a team, Ink Pressure, that went anchorless as well, so it's not like they can't handle playing against an anchorless team. But this is the first time we've seen them lose a game to an anchorless team, so we'll see if they try to make an adjustment now, or if they see, let's stick to what we were doing before and see if we can even up this series at 1-1.
I think they are actually going to adjust that, because the lockdown situation wasn't really great for Team Raizen, and it looks like they are still going with the anchorless comp with a Grim Reaper on the one side and double Anzap still with the double armor, which can support the Tetras with the aggressive gameplay.
Yeah, no surprise here from Luau. The double Inzap Blaster Tetra combo. It's been working out for them for tower control so far, and it's continuing to work out with them in the early goings of this match as 2 players quickly went down for Team Raizen. The roller attacking the tower and is able to get a pick there, but and we do see somebody coming flanking around behind, and that is a wipe from Team Raizen, so a nice response there. For what looked like to be a scary opening out of Luau. But we do see the player on Team Raizen switching to K-Shot instead of the F-Pro, I believe they were using earlier. Coming in and getting a key pick there to kind of stop the push.
K-Shot is actually a good pick, especially on tower control, as you can pressure the tower with the Penta missiles pretty much often. Arguing with a good jump back for the Booyah Bomb, but gets catched by the splash jump, but the Tetra didn't see the heavy and gets punished for that. Really unlucky for the Tetra, but good handle from Arguyan with the heavy.
Yes, very nice remix play coming out here. You know, it can be difficult to play against an anchorless team when they're throwing 4 bodies at you as opposed to 3. But if you're a pretty solid anchor player, especially with a Splatling which can defend itself pretty well, you're gonna have a good time against the team, kind of like what Luau is pulling out here. But at least in this first 2 minutes, it's been pretty much a stalemate back and forth. A lot of picks coming out, but not anything significant to kind of give any team an opportunity to get a legit push going here, as we do see Luau in position to get past this first checkpoint. Armor coming out, and they do just that, but they do lose 1 player in the process, and Special starting to come out. This might chase away Luau for now, but they got what they came for, which was that first checkpoint.
A double armor against 1 armor is actually pretty nasty. for the team which actually plays the 1 armor, but you can still handle it though if you can pick the armors pretty quick and frequently. You can actually compensate that. But the Waller now preparing for the flank of the life and gets the splat with the big flank over there, and now Team Raizen with a good chance to push that.
Yeah, does get one pick off of that, but does eventually go down themselves. It looked like that could have been a play that did a lot more damage than what it actually did. And actually, it's not going to result in anything kind of sustainable for Team Raizen, which is a little bit unfortunate for them because it was a great flank that they were able to sneak past there. But now Luau's getting a push going here. They've already cleared the first checkpoint, so they can just ride to the second one. But we see this roller yet again, right in the heat of action, is able to get a pick as well. Oh wait, did we see?
No!
Is that a DC?
Yes, it's a DC! Oh my god, no! This is bad!
When was that?
That was
I think that's too late.
135, I think.
Yeah, I think that's
way too late.
And well, regardless, both Luau is still fighting, which they should be doing because this game is going to count. Now they do have a lead here, but well, I mean, it's with 3 players going. Okay, it's a wipe. Okay, they're not gonna have a lead. That's fine.
Oh,
okay.
That's so unlucky.
But I mean, this game is still gonna happen. So Luau still needs to try to find a way to win this one, as much as the odds are no longer in their favor at this point. Very unfortunate, but it happens. And especially in a tournament like this, let's bring it in a lot of teams from all over the world, and the Switch itself being a pretty poor hardware as well as far as like handling internet issues and things like that. But yeah, this the second checkpoint falls quickly. They've rise up the third checkpoint here. It looks like Luau might be able to find a way to stop this push. No, maybe not.
The Waller is doing a great job though, but yeah, this is actually pretty unfortunate for Luau, because with the disconnect you have 1 weapon less to keep up the pain, to keep up the map control, and especially if it hits the NZAP, then it's good night actually, because you lose a lot of paint, which Luau did manage in the game before the DC. And this is really unfortunate, but nonetheless, Team Raizen deserved. Now with the 1-1 tied up.
Yes, that game is going to count, and it was Drift, I believe, that DC'd. We saw, I saw Sir Skit still in action there, which was the other NZAP, and Drift has already rejoined the room. Now Luau does have other players on their roster that they could use. I don't know if those players are available to be used or not today. But if it does come down to a situation to where they might need to get a sub, it's possible that they have the resources to do that. But nevertheless, that was a game that Luau was winning with about 1:30 left to go. It was still close, back and forth, but an unfortunate ending for Luau there, as the series is now tied 1-1.
But nonetheless, now Waymaker on New Albacore Hotel, a big map, many opportunities to push at. But I think we're going to see much backlinery on both teams, because New Albacore is really easy to defend, but still hard to win though.
Yes, and once again, it's going to come down to what is Luau going to bring out. Team Raizen, I think we can pretty much assume what they're going to use at this point. It's just the question of if they're going to do K-Shot or Pro. I would assume Pro here, just because of that extra range that can be abused from a map such as this. But with Luau, everybody's readied up except for Kami, and we know what Kami's going to use. So it looks like they're just taking this time to kind of talk out what they want to do specifically for an opening for this map, which is good, because losing a game the way they did can kind of rattle you at this point in the tournament. We don't really talk about the kind of pressure that players are starting to feel as we get deeper into this tournament, but The smart play bit here by Luau to kind of take more time to settle in before this game actually starts.
The game actually starts now. Waymaker do Albacore Hotel. I think we're going to see, as I said, backlinery on both sides, but also an aggressive comp exactly for that. I think Tetris are going to be a very good pick on this map, especially if you can hold the terrace side of both sides. But
we do see a squeezer coming out for the side of Team Raizen. We haven't seen them bust out that yet, but that's a smart pick here. Using that extra range from the squeezer can be very effective. And we do see the C-Jet with a Stingray already coming out from Surskit for Luau. The squeezer, the squeezer escaped the Stingray only to eventually die to W's T-Tech there. So this first push is going to be coming from Luau. If we can see, as you say, a juicy Inkjet play coming out from W, trying to get a pick or two.
We do see on the side of Luau a pretty aggressive comp with the T-Tech, Tetris, and CDS going on the side, and it actually pretty works out well with the push on the bridge side of Team Raizen, which they can defend well. Down to 92 points, not a good push because of that reason, ramp is much preferred over the ramp, not over the ramp, over the bridge.
Oh yes, we do see the Rainmaker is on the side of Team Raizen. They're having a little bit of difficulty trying to find a way to get the Rainmaker back to mid. They're having a difficulty getting picks in general. We see Nori getting another direct there, which is huge. But other than that, I think it's just been the Stingray that's shut down the push initially. That's been the kills the Team Raizen has gotten so far in the first minute and a half here of this game. So Luau able to hold on to a lot of the map here, but not really be able to do anything with it, as we see the Heavy getting a nice double there. The Heavy really keeping Team Raizen in this game right now.
That was a juicy double like that, and that gives Team Raizen this opportunity, and they're also going to push it over the bridge, which you have to watch out because you cannot press the ZL button for long, because if you do that you will die. But Team Raizen still pushing that. It's 92 to 96, and we already have the half of the game done. But are they going to switch the sides now, or are they still going to stick on the bridge? I think they're going to stick.
What are they waiting for? They've gotten several picks here. They're just letting the other team respawn and get back into action here.
I don't know either what they're doing, but they cannot get the lead of 92. They're going back and forth and back and forth. They cannot decide what to do right now. Except I think they're going to switch up the sides now, and they did.
There it goes. I was about to say, this is the lowest score you will ever see on a Rainmaker game 3 minutes into it. This is not a lead that either team wants to have. I think both teams I think the pressure of knowing that it's 1-1 right now and this deep into the tournament is starting to get both teams, even though they have aggressive comps, both teams are playing very passively right now. They're playing not to make a mistake instead of trying to win the game here. And since both teams are kind of doing that, it's resulted in this awkward stalemate. A minute 30 left to go. The winning score right now is 72 remaining.
Luau is actually running into a wall right now with the aggressive comp, but it doesn't work out as expected. Team Raizen doing a good defensive work with the push, with a half push over the ramp, and Tova going with the flank, but the curling bomb very unlucky, deflected from the block and not going through. The splashdown was a bit necessary, so the roller can still be alive.
With about a minute left to go here, yes, you are watching a Rainmaker game and not Turf War. There is an objective that both teams are trying their best to get control of. Not a lot of picks going out either. And we do see, honestly, in a situation like this, all you got to do is take it to the bridge. They don't even have to get across the bridge. They basically have to set a foot on the bridge, and Luau's going to have the lead here. And with 30 seconds left to go, they're going to need to find a ways just to grab the Rainmaker right here. I refuse to believe the game is going to end with a score like this. As we see a Stingray coming out, trying to get a pick or two, does get a pick on one player. The Rainmaker is going to reset. Now, this is such a scary situation. You never see this late in a Rainmaker game. All they're going to do is grab it and just go to the bridge. Are they going to take it that way? I can't see where the Rainmaker is, but it's electing to go along the left side, and they do the lead. But the Rainmaker is going to go down. That is a wipe. This lead might not go flip immediately back to Team Raizen. They don't really have to go anywhere to get lead, just to get below 69 points. They are going the right side. That is the long way to go. But it is the safe way to go, and they do get lead.
God.
Wow.
What happened? There was a back and forth. The game was so stale with both teams pushing over the bridge, and then all of a sudden, the game went from 0 to 1 million in half a second. That was insane.
32 to 31 is your final score. You will never see a Rainmaker score that lasts 5 minutes into overtime be like that again. What an awkward match. And now, I mean, that's a good match you want to win for Team Raizen, because now Luau has their backs completely against the wall. But I honestly think we're starting to see pressure come out for both teams here. I mean, Team Raizen, the person who top fragged for them was their Vanilla Heavy, and it basically doubled the kills that the next player got there. So they're going to have to rely on, what do you say? How do you say in the Heavy's name there?
Alguin?
Alguin, okay. They're going to need them
maybe
to keep these kills going until someone else can kind of step up and get some kills here.
Yeah. I actually have to realize what just happened. I have to process that for 2 minutes right now, but that was really intense. Now we got Clamblitz on Piranha Pit. We know that Clamblitz is a bit of a story on both teams. Like I said, Team Raizen taking that W and Team Luau taking the close L1. It's going to be intense, especially on Piranha Pit, where you can score from each side. You can also use the Ink Whale to distract the opponents pretty easily and also push over the useless path. But far left, yeah.
Is either team really in the mental state right now to try to pull off one of these flanks you've been talking about? We haven't. Both teams played very passively in that Rainmaker game. We see this aggressive comp coming back out again for Luau. But are they going to actually play with that play style? I don't really know. But being down and 2 players immediately going down for Luau, there shouldn't be any pressure on the time of Team Raizen now, especially now that they got 3 quick picks. That might change their mentality for the rest of this match here.
Team Raizen taking control over the entire map right now in a split second. Having good control, but now going to get flagged, and that's the wipe! So much about taking over the control, and now they have lost it. I just jinxed that. Now having the push for Luau, and they going big time. Now the only question is, can they get the optimal push under 60 left? That's the question. And I think they do, yes?
Yeah, well, they do get wiped right there. Oh wait, no, they're the ones who get the wipe, and they got a lot more claims to go here. This might be a possible KO situation. What a flip of the script this would be for Luau to get this win here, as they get another pick. Kami getting a splashdown. The splashdown buff we got several months ago coming in clutch right there, as Kami's just going off right now. But it's not going to result in a KO, but still damage done for Luau, making their presence heard here in this game 4 with their backs up against the wall, getting to 20 points remaining on their first push.
Kami was literally on fire there with the fallout, which didn't suffice for the kill, unluckily. But Team Raizen now has to have a good push now, 20 points, that hurts. And Team Luau, even as they were pushing, they still kept the control of their basket, and that is maybe going to be a W for Luau, and maybe we're going to see a game 5, maybe we're going to see a Silver Scrapes in this match. And they score one again!
Yes, and all of their penalty points basically gone. Can they get this power climb in there? They do, so all the penalty points gone. Just 4 points away from a KO, but Tetra's the last player alive. Kami's not going to be focused on getting clams. They're going to try to get as much kills as they possibly can, so that will end the push. But if there is one more push that comes out from Luau, that will be it, as we've reached the halfway point here. But like you've mentioned in the past, Clam Blitz is a mode that the lead can be coughed up in just one push. And there is a lot of clams online for Team Raizen, and they do have specials at the ready as well. But one player going down the forge as they're trying to pop bubbles, this Booyah Bomb's just kind of getting thrown somewhere to try to make a desperate pick. It does catch drift, but it doesn't give enough control for Team Raizen to kind of work with here to get a push going.
Team Raizen going to have control right there, but they cannot convert it into a first push. Still 100 to 11 plus 24 left against the favor of Team Raizen. They have to do something right now because 140 is shorter than you think. They don't have much time right now, especially with a big push like this.
Yes, about a minute 30 left to go here. The clam economy is kind of in the favor of Luau here. As they keep up the aggression, you see Kami barreling in there, doesn't get a pick, and this aggression might kind of work against Luau now, as it does give a lot of map control to the side of Team Raizen, and a lot of clams as well, but not enough clams to make a power clam. I don't think Team Raizen has a mercy clam to work with either. I think they picked it up earlier and lost it along the way, so if Team Raizen is going to make a comeback in this first minute, they're going to have to form all the clams they on their own. And with 3 players going down, this Trevor or Tover here with the rollers fighting for their lives, as Luau is just swarming once again all over Team Raizen's basket.
Yeah, the waller was pretty much last. Completely surrounded by enemy ink, couldn't do anything in the situation. Absolutely well done from Luau, keeping the pressure on. They score again. Are they going to get the KO though? No, because the barrier is back up. Alguien with the defensive work right now has to go with a bit of a damage reduction here, and now Team Raizen has to score now because now it's overtime. And 20 seconds is not long.
No, but there's so many points they got to get through. First, they just need to find a way to open up the basket, and they do have the specials to try to fight their way in there. And they do get some picks. Bubbles coming off, but those bubbles pop instantly without getting any picks. The basket will be open, and they do have some clams to kind of bleed this out. They're already at 41 points remaining. They're going to need to get a lot more picks here and find ways to get some more clams. If they just throw in a few more right here just to keep the basket open, but they're not going to get there. So Luau, after taking Game 3 off, has woken up again and flexed with an impressive opening push here to force a decisive Game 5. I haven't looked at the map list, but please don't make it be Rainmaker. I don't think I could watch another... I think
it is Rainmaker. I think it is Rainmaker.
It is. It's Rainmaker and main stage. Alright, well.
Rainmaker Silver Scrapes!
Buckle in for this nonsense. We're going to a Game 5 decisive Rainmaker game at Starfish's main stage, where both of these teams were very obviously playing super passively at this last set. So we'll yeah, honestly, I'd rather see this game come down to a rematch Rainmaker. Let's see these teams try to play this mode with the aggression that we've been seeing from them in the other modes. Let's get a decisive end to this set on a Rainmaker game. Let's do it.
It will be aggressive because it's not New Albuquerque Hotel where it really was stale, especially with the bridge pushes. Starfish main stage gives much opportunity to push. It gives also the frontliners the opportunity to control the opponent's snipe and even much farther. So we are going to see much aggressive comms to control exactly that position so they can push even farther. And Game 5 Waymaker, it will be a game of endurance now, because 15 seconds unconcentrated can cost you the entire match.
Yes, and I think that's what both teams are well aware of, and what has them kind of worried is they're playing not to make the mistake on Rainmaker instead of trying to find the way to actually win it. But we do see the Vanilla Heavy coming back out. That was key, very key for Team Raizen to get the win in the hotel game. And we do see basically the same comp we saw. Well, actually, it is the same comp we saw out of Luau in the Clan Blitz game. The pop instantly going to Luau. As once again, both teams are trying to just kind of establish control before picking it up. Possibly Team Raizen is trying to find some flanks going out here, but that Inkjet will go down without getting a kill. And this should be a situation where Team Raizen can pick this up here and get some points off of it. But all the players are back online for Luau, and double armor getting popped immediately. So other than that Inkjet going down, we haven't seen any picks in the first opening minute here.
It still do be contested though, but now Luau with the push, and Kaito really much offsides here. Has to catch up with the Waymaker, but luckily the teammates already has responded to that threat, and now they are going to push the Waymaker. 60 points though. It is not much, even in Waymaker, but now the bubbles are 2 bubbles actually finding the other way, the other directive way, but the Inkjet now with the kill, but 42, that takes the lead for Team Raizen. But it's everyone's game, it's really much contested, especially in mid. So I cannot predict where is it going.
Well, one player is down, but they are going to get lead here, and this is actually a huge lead with 22 remaining. Luau able to kind of sneak past both us and the Hall of Team Raizen to get lead there, and that is a big lead on this map and mode. Now, it's not one that Team Raizen can overcome, especially with 3 minutes left to go. They're basically going to have to get halfway up the Luau ramp on the pit. But with the Forge going down, they're going to have to find ways to kind of get out of their own pit here. So we see Nori having difficulty even getting back to their own street, as Luau once again knocking on that door, trying to add to their lead.
And Team Raizen really pushed back right now. Waymaker is already in possession of Luau. Surskit with the
3 clear.
Oh, and that's the head. That's the one, but that could be KO.
That's it.
Oh my god, the Luau team crushing down on Team Raizen, and that is exactly what I learned actually from you. 15 seconds and it could be all over. As we can look at the map, it's so blue. It's it's so blue. I could sing a song about that.
Oh gosh, don't put that in my head. Oh no. There you go.
Then you cannot escape from it.
An interesting finish to a very dramatic and exciting set by both teams. Luau waking up and taking care of business in those last 2 games there, and they are now going to force a rematch against Last Chance in the Low Ink Grand Finals. This is going to have to be a bracket reset. We need you and me, Kyo. We need to get some water. We need to kind of recuperate from what we just saw there. It was an exciting match.
I still have to process. I still have to process that new Albacore game.
The process, yeah, yes, exactly. Before we take a break, there's something you guys don't know about, and that is we are hosting a tournament next weekend called the Unnamed Tournament. It is going to be Saturday at 1 p.m. Eastern Time, and even though it is hosted by the Low Ink staff, it is not a Low Ink tournament, i.e. anybody is allowed to play in this tournament. We're not going to verify players that sign up. We're not going to ban anyone for being too good. Just sign up and play in it. Look for it on SmashGG/UT. And I'm getting really good at plugging this tournament. I'm probably only going to have to do it 6 more times before we sign off. But for now, we're going to take a short break. We're going to come back with you with grand finals. You are watching Low Ink
And
on
stay
August.